The lipstick smear on my cheek was crimson, the same shade as betrayal. Liliana, my wife of 10 years, stumbled through the doorway, reeking of cheap tequila and something vaguely floral, something that wasn't her usual perfume. "Sorry I'm late, babe," she slurred, planting a sloppy kiss on my cheek. Girls' night got a little extended. Then she giggled, a sound that used to warm my heart, but now sent a chill down my spine. Something was off, terribly, gut-wrenchingly off. This wasn't the first time Liliana had come home late from a girls' night in recent months. There were the missed calls, the hushed whispers on the phone, the sudden obsession with her appearance, the tiny lies, the averted gazes, the growing distance between us, a chasm widening with every passing day. I tried to ignore it, to tell myself I was being paranoid, but the knot in my stomach tightened with each unanswered question, each flimsy excuse. That night, after she'd passed out, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I shouldn't have. I know I shouldn't have. But the doubt, the insidious whisper of suspicion, had burrowed too deep. I picked up the phone. It was a text from a number saved as Spa Day. The message simply read, "Night was amazing. Miss you already. X." My blood ran cold. I unlocked her phone, my hand shaking. The text went back weeks, detailing clandestine meetings, stolen kisses, whispered promises. My world tilted on its axis. My Liliana, my kind, loving, funny Liliana, having an affair. But it was the voicemails that truly broke me. Saved amongst the texts were 2 voicemails from the same number. I pressed play on the first. A man's voice, smooth and confident, filled the room. "Hey, beautiful. Just thinking about you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow." The second voicemail was even worse. It was Liliana's voice, breathy and giddy. "Oh, Daniel, I can't stop thinking about you either. Being with you it's everything. Daniel." The name echoed in my mind, a cruel mockery of everything I held sacred. I sat there in the darkness, the phone clutched in my hand, the world I knew crumbling around me. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just felt numb. The numbness gave way to a cold, hard fury. The next morning, Liliana woke up with a hangover and a vague sense of unease. I offered her coffee, my voice steady, my face a mask of calm. "How was your night out with the girls?" I asked, placing the mug in her hands. She took a sip, her eyes avoiding mine. "It was fun. A little too much tequila, I think." "Oh, I'm sure," I said, my voice laced with subtle edge. She didn't seem to notice. "Did you go to the spa too?" Her hand trembled, spilling coffee onto the table. What are you talking about?" I reached into my pocket and pulled out her phone. I pressed play on the second voicemail, the one where she confessed her love for Daniel. Liliana's face went white as a sheet, her eyes widened in horror, her breath catching in her throat. She gasped, a strangled sound of disbelief and fear. Who is Daniel?" I asked, my voice chillingly calm. The color drained from her face. She stammered, trying to form words, but nothing came out. The truth was written all over her face, a stark confession etched in fear and guilt. I can explain," she finally choked out. EXP, what, Liliana? Explain how you could do this? To us? To me?" The calm facade finally cracked, and the raw pain in my voice filled the room. Over the next few days, the fragmented pieces of her infidelity fell into place. Daniel was a colleague, someone she'd met at a conference a few months ago. The girls' nights were lies, carefully constructed alibis for her secret rendezvous. She swore it was just a fling, a momentary lapse in judgment. But the texts, the voicemails, the lipstick on my cheek told a different story. My world had been shattered, but amidst the wreckage, a steely resolve began to form. I wouldn't let her lies and deceit destroy me. I would rebuild, stronger than before. But first, there was something I needed to do. I found Daniel. It wasn't difficult. Social media provided all the information I needed. He worked at a rival marketing firm, his online presence a carefully curated image of success and charm. I waited for him outside his office one evening, the cold air biting at my skin. When he finally emerged, I stepped out of the shadows. He recognized me instantly, his face paling. "You're Liliana's husband." "That's right," I said, my voice low and menacing. "We need to talk." I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I simply told him, in chilling detail, everything I knew. I showed him the texts, played him the voicemails. I watched as the smug confidence drained from his face, replaced by a look of pure terror. He tried to deny it, to deflect, to blame Liliana, but I silenced him with a single, unwavering gaze. "You've destroyed my marriage," I said, my voice laced with venom. "And now I'm going to destroy yours." I walked away, leaving him standing there, a broken man. I knew he was married, had a family. I knew the revelation of his affair would cause just as much devastation in his life as it had in mine. It wasn't revenge in the traditional sense. It was a cold, calculated act of ensuring that he too would face the consequences of his actions. The following weeks were a blur of lawyers, paperwork, and a painful unraveling of a life I thought would last forever. Liliana pleaded with me to forgive her, to give her another chance. But the trust was broken, shattered beyond repair. I couldn't look at her without seeing the lies, hearing the whispered promises she'd made to another man. The divorce was finalized within a few months. Liliana moved out, her face edged with regret and shame. I heard through the grapevine that Daniel's wife had left him, taking their children with her. His career, once so promising, was in tatters. I didn't feel any satisfaction. There were no winners in this story, only casualties. I sold the house, the place that held so many memories, both good and bad. I started over, rebuilding my life piece by piece. It was a slow, arduous process, filled with moments of profound loneliness and heartache. But slowly, gradually, the pain began to fade. I found solace in work, in friends, in the simple act of living. I rediscovered passions I had long forgotten, and I began to see a future for myself, a future that didn't include Liliana. Years later, I ran into Liliana in a coffee shop. She looked older, wearier. The sparkle in her eyes was gone, replaced by a quiet sadness. We talked for a while about our lives, about the past. There was no anger, no resentment, just a quiet acceptance of what had been. She apologized again, and this time I felt like she truly meant it. I forgave her, not for her sake, but for mine. Forgiveness, I realized, wasn't about condoning what she had done. It was about letting go of the anger and pain, about freeing myself from the shackles of the past. It was about finally moving on. The lipstick smear, once a symbol of betrayal, had finally faded, and so too had the sting of her deceit. The scars remained, a reminder of a love lost, a trust betrayed. But they were my scars, and they were a part of me. They were a testament to my resilience, to my ability to survive, to heal, and to love again. And that, I knew, was a kind of victory in itself. So guys, if you all liked today's story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.